And we are celebrating Western New York and a rising business, you could call it. The owners never set out to start a shop of their own, but when life hands you lemons, you know what? You toss them to the side and make bagels instead. Life is a little like this sourdough starter.
You have to wake up and finish what you've started.
It can be a tad unpredictable. It requires patience. It waits for no one. And will sometimes.
Sourdough is a very unforgiving process.
Joe White has learned a lot about that process over the past 2.5 years, but baking bread and bagels was never part of his life's plan. He was a touring musician for the better part of a decade, then worked HVAC jobs after he took a break from the band. Then he had to take another break.
Through loading my own gear and playing bass every night, all sort of added up after a while.
Nerve blocks in both arms caused excruciating pain. At the end of 2019, he had back-to-back surgeries. Then came the physical therapy.
There's this poor dude in the corner playing with this big ball of Play-Doh, just kneading, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I was like, I'm done with physical therapy. We're gonna take matters in my own hands.
Turns out kneading dough was great therapy. He started with pizza dough, then tried his hand at bread.
Just started slowly mixing it with one hand. First loaf, we thought it was the bee's knees.
There were many more loaves after that. Family and friends were the taste testers. Then Joe worked at a local bakery for a while, but in February of last year, he and his fiancée decided to open up their own business, Dopest Dough. They started in a shared kitchen and sold at markets, but now they have their own space on Main Street in East Aurora.
People will come up to us and they'll be like, you really got something going. And Joe and I look at each other and we're like, do we? It's kind of still amazing to us that we've gotten to this point.
Their storefront should be open sometime this fall, but right now their focus is on pre-orders and baking for local businesses like Community Beer Works. They work 7 days a week, just the two of them.
We can make it if we try.
Much like Joe's days as a musician, baking is also a creative outlet.
I just love the whole process and science. It's wizardry.
And he's constantly working to achieve that mastery.
If you're making bagels, they gotta be good. A nice, deeply colored crust. You should be able to bite into it with a little bit of, should have a little give. Should fight you a little bit. A good bagel shouldn't taste like a slice of white bread.
Their recipe for success combines hard work, pride, a dash of disbelief, and the desire to keep them coming back for more.
On a Friday night, you're like, oh my gosh, we're in way over our head. What are we doing? And then Saturday, we both look at each other and we're like, that was fun. Let's do it again.
And if you want to check them out, Dopest Dough is at the Hamburg Farmers Market every week. Yesterday, they went through more than 400 bagels. Right now, again, the focus is on pre-orders and breakfast sandwiches for pickup on select Sundays. And today, they're doing made-to-order breakfast sandwiches until noon or until they're gone, which is usually pretty quick. So again, if you want to check them out, I suggest you get there early.